welcome. We've done an interview today with a bit of a goalkeeping legend, Steve Cherry. Welcome to the shop.
Cheers, Chris. Thank you.
Not the dungeon anymore, which you probably
exactly. Yeah.
You missed out on that one, mate. It was a bit. This is a bit more salubrious setting. You get your own chair.
Yeah, lovely, mate. Yeah.
Nice one. So welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. So we're going to discuss basically how you started, and then we're going to discuss your career, and then sort of goalkeeping gloves and your opinions on them. So now, predominantly you were a Sondico man, weren't you?
Yeah. Started with them. I got into, because obviously I was at Derby, and the supply of gloves from a club weren't that great. You know, you got in training, you got through quite a bit, and I got about 3-4 a year, and that was it. It wasn't enough, so you had to buy your own. So I thought, well, I'll get in touch with a few clubs, and Sonico was the first firm that I got in touch with.
Okay.
I stayed with them for, God, I think I got my first glove in probably 81 and stayed with them till 1992, something like that. And then because we got relegated the following year, the first division, they withdrawn the gloves, had a contract with them.
Right, okay.
And then I've been with Puma all my life, with Martin Bucking, who's played for Man United.
Right, okay, yeah.
He was the top man at Man centre half. And I was cheeky, I phoned him once and would he supply me with some gloves as well, and I got supply gloves for the end of my career.
Oh, nice one.
It was good, yeah.
So it's not quite as straightforward as everyone thinks then, you can just rock up and get a glove deal. You have to.
I know what it is now. You have to be, but you do have to be cheeky. And I mean, I'm not done up my gloves. I didn't be sponsored car. I went to Walsall. I went to there's no Nissan in Walsall, so I went to Wolverhampton.
Right. And
I got an appointment with the director, and I says, I've got a thing to put to you. He said, what's that? I said, well, why about having Steve Cherry drives a Nissan Cherry? And I got a car.
Nice.
Yeah, so you have to be cheeky. And I got it for a year, so...
It's just saying on a Ferrari though, eh?
Ferrari Cherry. Yeah, nice, isn't it? Yeah.
That's a great word. It's a great spin on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not, I think people's perception sometimes of footballers is that it's all like glamour and glitz, and it's, I think...
It's at the top.
To a point it is, but I think when you go down out the Prem, out the Championship, would you say?
I think that the second division now it's good level of living and wage earner, but I don't know what they're like with. I mean, when I was at Derby, we were sponsored by Patrick.
Yeah, I remember that kit. Yeah,
with the kit, and we used to get supplied trainers, moulders, studs, but they weren't mine. So I went to Puma.
Right. Yeah.
Even though I wore them for training, the boots I first bought were Puma King, and. It progressed from watching Gordon Banks play and then watching Schultz play, always wore Puma.
Yeah.
They had the odd other boot, for, but mainly throughout the career it was Puma that got me on them. So,
it's a classic looking boot, isn't it? I just started going back to them. Going from a combo to the Puma King. And
well, I think my lad's had a pair, but he doesn't really, I think they're a bit uncomfortable for him. But I've got a pair of cheap Puma boots. And they're lovely. Yeah. But they've got these new, the ankle bit with a sock into it. And they're comfortable, but I don't know how much they protect you because they're very plasticky.
Yeah, I don't think many boots are built for that anymore, to be honest with you. They're a lot lighter than what they used to be. That's definitely true. And they just don't last as long. It's like a lot of stuff, but definitely boots don't last as long. I had New Balance when I was playing for a while, like Brian Robson's New Balance. They lasted me about 3 seasons. That was when I was playing midfield, but in goal, I say Puma, and they had New Balance, and they lasted for ages. With a bit of dubbing on.
Yeah.
Have you used to dubbing?
Especially on the leather balls I used to have,
Wow. So at Derby then, sort of jumped a little bit ahead, who was there at the time, like goalkeeper coaches?
Well, I didn't have one until later on. So when I got there, it was Colin Bolton in goal, and Graham Mosley was the second choice.
Right.
And then when them two, I think Colin moved to Lincoln, broke his leg and retired. I think Graham moved to, Cardiff. And then I stepped up, got in the team, and then eventually I got my first goalkeeping coach. It was Alan Hodgkinson.
Okay.
I mean, he's a great man. Ex-Man U, England goalkeeper. Not very tall, very stocky, and he invented the goalkeeper's handshake. So whenever the first time you meet him, you shake his hand, you go, do it again, and he'll squeeze your hand that hard. So it lives on forever, because whenever when I got to about 24, 25, I did a lot of presentations.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter whether I did school football, kids, I would squeeze them. So when I walk off stage, they'd go, Just shake the hand. I'd do it to men. I've even done ladies' darts team in Beeston. You give them a kiss and goes on shake. So you got a good grip and yeah. So it sticks to every goalkeeper that I teach.
Right, good handshake.
Yeah, very firm, yeah.
Scott won't mind me saying this, but have you shook Scott Loach's dad's hand?
Yeah, well, he's a bouncer come. I know you runs the firm.
I said to Scott, like, why is he?
He's a weight man, isn't he? Yeah.
So I'm like a mid shaker, so I don't know. Going with a, I suppose I can see the point behind it.
Yeah,
I think I might adopt a little.
So I learned a lot from Alan. He was a great man, but he only came in once a fortnight in the afternoon, which I didn't mind. But
this at Ramarine,
short-lived. This was at the Rainsway.
Yeah, Ramarine. It's called one in the end. Because you used the so there was 2 pitches there, weren't they? And then there was a red grass area. Was that?
Yeah, there was what we call the bowling green. As you're driving to the car park to the right, there's a big gym.
Yeah.
And then it was a proper bowling green, and it would turn into a 5-side pitch with the goal you've got here, that size.
Yeah.
But you had to play on it on a Friday before the match. So
I remember
to get
that.
Into,
Yeah.
So to get into you want to get into the squad.
Yeah.
To play on that pitch because it was cut like a putting green.
Yeah.
But you couldn't wear studs. You had to wear molded boots.
Yeah.
You only cut up. I think we did probably 2 goalkeeping sessions, as in shooting sessions, with the first team. But it was a privilege to get on there and play with the first team. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I used to. So I was when I was at Derby, I used to go to Rainsway. And I can create vivid memories of it. And now you say that, I remember that bit now. But my memories were that gym area. Which was it concrete floor? Was it a dream?
Yeah, it's concrete floor. It was a breeze block. It had a good gym. You know, as in weight gym.
Yeah.
We played many a 5-a-side with the youth team, and then we'd end up doing weights in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But what I remember best about it is when every day at training, like they do now, we used to eat together.
Oh, okay.
You know, we used to have buffet, we used to have pies. It wasn't always the best food in the world, but I always remember Archie Gemmell. No matter what he'd eaten, he'd walk out with about 8 yogurts. It must be for his kids, I don't know. But every day he did that.
That's not a bad way, is it?
Well, I looked after Derby because when I joined them when I was 15, they were league champions.
Yeah, so that'd have been Dave Mackay?
Yeah.
So,
and I found him a great bloke. He gave me my first opportunity to play at Wembley Arena.
Wow.
And we played, I've had shilts about this. Because the first time I went down twice. And if you got past the first round, it meant you'd have a later finish. So you'd stay in a hotel, probably the Wembley Hilton next door. But both rounds we played, we got knocked out in the first game. But the first match was Derby versus Stoke City. I remember looking at the clock and thinking there's 42 seconds left, 0-0. 5 seconds later, Jimmy Greenough scores past me. We got beat 1-0.
Oh, no.
And my idol, Shields, he's turned around and walked off the pitch. Not shook my hand. So many years ago, I did a Gordon Banks and Peter Shilton evening.
Oh, wow.
And I went up to Banks and explained why I started in goal. It was down to you. And I walked to Shields and he sat down, selling me my book or whatever it was. And I looked down at him. I said, "You?" I said, "I've got a bone to pick with you. I played against you in 1976 at Wembley Arena. You beat us 1-0 and you never shook my hand." And he looked at me really as though, "Oh no." So I went to put it there and I'll get my handshake.
But did he have the handshake as well?
No, I gave him the handshake. He was okay, but it weren't like mine. But no, total respect for them two, the best goalkeepers in the world.
Yeah, at the time.
Yeah,
so going on, would that be your sort of like, say, idol, if that's a stronger word, or your favourite goalkeeper?
There was a few. I mean, like when I used to watch our soccer in them days, Les Green used to be a favourite, Derby goalkeeper.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I remember watching Colin Bolton play, and say he wasn't a big lad, as in height-wise, he a great shot stopper. But my minor issue with when I was at Derby, at the Mosley and Colin, they thought shot stopping was enough, and we never did an extra. So I never learned from them two. When John Middleton came for a short period of time, late John Middleton, bless him, he was a hard trainer and he did more than just the basic.
Yeah.
So you watch him, you learn from him, and yeah. So,
yeah, I think with this shot stopping side of it, I said this a million times, is that it's probably the easiest bit.
Yeah.
In many respects, it's getting your positioning right, so you don't have to be a good shot stopper.
Because you asked Pilks. When I was coaching Pilks at Notts for a year, I insisted on him not training with the first team on a Friday. I said, "You do Thursday shooting,
do
as much as you want. If you want some work after, I'm there for you." But Friday, I said, you're going to work with me for an hour and 20 minutes, then you're done. Do the set pieces with the first team. This one day, John Gannon says to him, Pilks, would you go in goal, but he's shooting? And I've gone, no.
Sorry.
That's good timing, mate, that.
Isn't it? We're still going.
And I said to him, Pilks, no. He went, no, but I'll be okay. And he did his ankle, his knee. I said, don't get involved. I want to make you feel good on a Friday or Saturday. Don't go in goal and they're knocking 200 balls past you and you're feeling low. I should want to be on a high. So I've taught that to Lochi, all the keepers that I've coached. You know, that's been my thing.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You know, you can't be goalkeeping sessions. I mean,
for fun. I think.
I think fitness. So I mean, goalkeeping fitness is like going to the gym. When you come out, you have a sauna. You come out, you feel absolutely so refreshed, and like it properly works.
Yeah.
I remember I was at Watford. We'd been away to Sweden for 2 weeks, and Kenny Sampson, great lovely bloke. He was working the first team players, and there was me, Kevin Miller, and Stuart Murdoch, and he was saying, like, that's easy, that, and always jovial. So we said to him, well, why don't you come tomorrow and work with us? He did, but he never come back again. He never come back again because we worked him really hard.
Yeah, it's true, because I say I can sort of just about still do it to a point, but put my outfield, I don't think I'd last 5 minutes. No. But then put someone in our position. And
No.
Be able to dive.
When I was at Notts as coach on a Thursday morning, sometimes there was not enough squad, so I had to play right back. They won't go to work then, you know, and you're absolutely knackered, and you know, yeah.
Yeah. So what sort of made you to be a goalkeeper then?
I think from the age of 2, I was diving around all over the place. And at the age of 2, I knocked myself out my mum's fireplace, diving for a ball. And then I think the World Cup, when I was 6, I can't remember a lot about it, but the 70 World Cup got me.
Right.
The banks to save and the thing about Benetti, and also he was my goalkeeper coach at Watford, Peter was.
Oh, okay.
For 18 months, and I just wanted to be a goalkeeper, but I couldn't get in the team. Because in the junior school we had Gary Hopkins and Paul Fox, and they were good goalkeepers.
I think from Stoke.
No. Sorry, Peter Fox. He was not the Peter Fox is one that made it big time for Stoke. But he went to be an apprentice. He's about a year older than me, and Gary was 2 years older than me. And he went to Stoke as an apprentice 10 days. And never made it. I think he went to be a policeman.
Okay.
I bumped into Gary Hopkins about 2 years ago doing my book. And he looked at me and said, because I've not seen him for all this time at school, since school, and he went to, I am dear. I said, looked at him, yeah, Gary Hopkins. So I knew him straight away who he was, but he never made it. But I couldn't get past these two. They're older than me, bigger than me. And then when I got to 11, I got in the team at the last year at junior school, and we won the treble. That was the father side, the league. And
Right, part 2. Sorry about that. Some slightly technical issues. We were talking about Steve getting the treble at his school when he was 11. Is that right?
in 71. So end of the season, we had a table with 3 trophies on, and a medal each for the players, and we had my headmaster, school teacher, and we had the legend that he was, Tommy Lawton.
Okay.
So Tommy Lawton, it's in my book. He presented the medals. And then I went on to school level, and I think my first goalkeeping session was at Forest with Alan Hill, John Middleton and Peter Wells. It was a goalkeeping session. Didn't lead to anything. It wasn't a trial. And when I got to 14, I asked my secretary if I could approach Notts County for a trial. And he said, no issue. So I got the trial. But all I got was 45 minutes, second half, and I let 3 goals in. I can't remember. I didn't think I played very well, but anyway, didn't know where we played it. So a year later, when I was 15, I went to Frank Hill, lovely bloke, passed away now. He started me off because I owe him everything on it, because he said, I do mind you approaching Notts again. I've got a Derby scout that'll watch you play, and he lived on Oslo's Lane. So Calton Youth Wing went to play Ilkeston. At Ilkeston, and we got beat something like 7-1. I think 2 of the goals were my fault, as in one slipped through my hands. It was a mud pitch. It was, and the scout was next to me, Ernest something, and I got a week's trial at Derby. Stuck in a hotel with 20 other lads, and we trained all day for 1 week. And there's me and Steve Sutton.
Wow.
And I got picked over Steve, and Steve Sutton went to Forest.
Yes.
That's Then I literally signed apprenticeship forms, and within 2 months I was going to Ireland in the UEFA Cup, playing Finn Harps. I was on the bench.
Wow.
We beat Finn Harps at home 12-1, and Dave McCarr said, you'll get some part in this game. And they scored in the first minute to make it 12-2, and I think he bottled it, I don't know why. And I didn't get on. So it was a nice trip to Ireland.
Yeah, 12-2 is a bit of a gap.
It was, mate, yeah. I could have subbed me for that if I was that bad, but no, it was a good experience, meeting with Charlie Georges and all them, them players, some great players,
I think people forget that side a bit. I'm a Forest fan, but with Derby, because of Cloughie, when he left Derby, they didn't realise that they won the league again. I think that's forgotten about a little bit. Maybe not with Derby fans, but it is with the general footballing supporters. They think, well, Cloughie won it, went to Forest, did what he did there. But there was still a hell of a side. I know Cloughie built that side, didn't he, to a point? With Peter Taylor. But that's amazing. I didn't realise you got in that.
I did.
And to be fair, having a trial, making a mistake and still getting through.
Well, it was a match where obviously we got beat, but he saw something in me. To want pulling me in and not giving me a 45-minute match. We trained twice a day for 5 days in a hotel. I think we played some matches. We trained, did all the physical stuff, and I was only 19-12. I was quite a lightweight guy then. When I signed apprenticeship forms, Ernie, what his name was, the chief scout, said to my mum and dad, first thing we've got to do is put some weight on him. I thought, so we laughed about that, and I went to the digs for 18 months in Derby, and learnt my trade. And my first coach was Richie Norman, who used to play for Leicester. And he won the FA Cup playing for the Gordon Banks. So I learned a lot from a man who played in front of one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
Wow.
So and I was with Richie for 5 or 6 years, and then when I turned, as far as 18, I got my first pro form and I got in the England youth team. So with John Lukic and Alan Knight.
Yes.
So we shared that for 2 years. Yes. Yeah.
John Lukic is a local bloke, isn't he?
He was Chisfield. We became great friends. I haven't seen him for years.
His son I'd like to meet. Again, like, because in the 80s, predominantly where Lukic was playing, when I went into the 90s as well. Like, there's a different style to him, wasn't there, I thought? Because he was very leggy, wasn't he? I don't know, I just find him...
He was a good talker, and he could strike a good ball. Say he'd not got big, thick, muscly legs. But he was, he got England youth, and we shared it, us three.
Really? Oh, brilliant.
We played in the Mini World Cup, but I was on the bench for both games, and I think John was ill, and then Alan played, and then John came back for the second match. I was on the bench, and we shared a room one night, and so this is in my book. So me and John didn't go to the pictures with the lads. We just decided to stay in, and John just in fashion, who was down the room below us, and
for God's sake, sorry.
He was below us, about 4 rooms down. So we got his room number, and John acted as the night porter, or the receptionist, and I acted as the agent from Real Madrid. And this is in my book, and I can't remember. I think I was Eduardo somebody, and so John put on his phone. And while he's on the phone to him, I'm crying with laughter. I don't know how I kept it straight, but when I got on the phone, so I arranged to meet him in the foyer.
No way.
And he said, "Yeah, I could now straight away. Thank you, sir." And he put the phone down. So he gets to the door. I can't tell you what was said, but he's got his England tracksuit on, walking down the corridor.
Oh, no.
We shouted at him and did a few signs and a few words. He said a few things back, but it was such a laugh. It was good.
My God.
Yeah.
Do you know, I've read your book, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I've read yours, Crosley's, and Paddy's most recently.
Yeah.
And I think they're brilliant. I think you get a mindset of a goalkeeper in that. And the way, because we have to be different, don't we?
Sure, yeah.
Because you put your head where someone's going to kick
different characters and
Whereas I think we're discussing this slightly off camera, that's kind of falling out of the game. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not so sure. Because it does hurt, but I think you just do it instinctively.
You do. I've got John Boyd on my Facebook, and
it is a character, isn't it?
He oldest player to play in the Premiership, 47, was he?
Yeah.
He was ranting this week about one of the goalkeepers in the Premiership with a back pass that they brought in, and it's at Newcastle, got robbed. I've not seen it, and he's on every week about it does like the blooper of the week.
Right.
A goalkeeper that receives it thinks he can play football and loses it, and he goes, why they're doing this back pass thing and keeping possession on the 6-yard line. I mean, we all not. God, get it forward, play in there, or as much football as you like, but in your own. He wouldn't let me give my ball to the centre halves because he couldn't play. So you get your fullbacks, you know, let him get on with it. But yeah,
that's how it's evolved, though, isn't it? I think when you've got
that
they tell you to play from the back, or I think the centre halves at the very top level.
Yeah,
they're pretty comfortable on the ball, but still, I mean, it's, in my head, and I presume in your head, it's like safety first, isn't it? Yeah. Your job is to guard the goal.
I mean, you can't tell me that I couldn't play out from the back because I did, but we only did that when it was on.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's on. I mean, this goal kick where they go one there, one there.
Yeah.
And he'll pass it out to the left back. He passes it back. Then he passes it back under pressure. And he just whacks it.
Yeah.
Just clip the ball out to the halfway line. Someone who's got a bit of space. I don't. I'm not football. I don't.
No, it's
not for me to say.
No.
I think you're right.
It's it's interesting. Cause I think there's probably room for it. Like, there's no target man anymore.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And and I think. They might, they might sort of like a double six aside. Like everyone's playing this. I mean, we watch the Premiership, fantastic level of football, but every game seems to me to be very similar.
So
It's like everyone moves together.
And I think fans get a bit bored with it after a while.
I think so. I don't think there's. I mean, again, it's easy to look back on it when you get a bit older and go, well, it wasn't like it might be.
No.
And you forget how crap it was sometimes. You see it like the pitches were.
Oh,
like
they're not born today, do they?
No, they don't. I mean,
when I played at Derby, it was the beach ball ground, weren't it?
Yeah.
It was...
Talking about, I know we're going on a lot. We sound like a pair of old farts, don't we? But that's not a problem. Yeah, exactly. One of my memories, and I'm sure you played in this game, I talked to you about it before, was the Plymouth one?
Yeah.
With the crowd on the pitch.
Oh, yeah.
Did you play that one?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I was, me and my friend at the time, and my dad, I think we're the only ones in the stand.
Was you?
Yeah, everyone. I mean, how does that feel like playing? Because that's never going to happen again.
The story is that we had to win to stay up, and Fulham had to win to get in the playoffs if Leicester lost. So it was all to play for.
Yeah.
So.
We were automatic then, weren't it?
Automatic, to promotion. Yeah. And I think Bobby Dave, in them days, you had a glove bag.
Yes.
And in my glove bag, I bet you I got, in pound notes, 200 quid's worth in my bag. Because in them days, were 40, 50 pound note.
Yeah.
And it's in the goal mail. So when Bobby Davidson scored the volley, don't know, but somebody opened the gates up. So the fence weren't there. The gates were locked.
Yeah.
But somebody had opened several gates. Now when I think now, was it planned? I don't know. So why would they open all the gates? So when they scored the goal, they all came, they're on the side of the pitch anyway. I remember making a save from 25 yards, tipped it over the bar, it was top corner, the bloke runs onto me and he gives me a pass from the back. He's next to my post, I'm going, get off the pitch. So when Bobby Davidson scored the volley, I turned around to celebrate and someone has pinched my glove bag. I watched him pick it up and he ran to the 18-yard box, to the touchline, and I ran after him, I dived on him, and got my glove bag back.
Did you get it back?
Yeah.
You thought you did that?
So, if they kicked off, they could have scored, I hadn't even thought about it. I just thought about the Bobby Davidson scored the volley, I turned around to celebrate, and someone has pinched my glove bag. I watched him pick it up, and he ran to the 18-yard box, to the touchline, and I ran after him, I dived on him, and got my glove bag back.
Did you get it back?
Yeah.
You thought you did that?
So, if they kicked off, they could have scored, I hadn't even thought about it. I just thought about the money I'd spent, or what it would cost to replace them. And for a while, I had to put my glove bag on the penalty spot until they started attacking mine, and I'd throw it back a bit. But I couldn't put it back in the goal in the post because it would get pinched.
So you were playing with a boot bag. Was the game kicked off?
Oh yeah.
You had the boot bag on the.
No. They'll get the ball out the net to bring to kick off. Yeah. But I went after him.
No, I mean after that, after you got it back.
I had to put it in front of me when they were attacking. I threw it back behind me so the referee wouldn't see it. And then what was that? About 5 minutes ago, they was attacking my right fullback, and one of our supporters kicked their player, tackled him.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
And Malcolm McDonald was going, "What's going on?" And he wanted a replay, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I think the referee, he blew for something, and everyone thought it was the end of the match.
Yeah.
I think there was 2 minutes to go. So I just picked my glove bag up, held onto it like that, and I just ran in. And Malcolm said his bit, and it never got replayed. And we stayed up.
Yeah,
But it was strange behaviour. I don't know
how
who
did you
would
feel
have
like,
against.
did you think, like, obviously you were concerned about your gloves?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
I don't think that.
someone
Then next to me post, it didn't bother me. It was because 2 or 3 times they come on the pitch and they're patting players on the back. And I remember George Foster grabbing one saying, "Get off the pitch." You know, we're winning 1-0. We don't want to be abandoned and played again. We want to win it and stay up. But it, as in terms of being hurt, it was never that never entered your head.
Yeah.
For me, it was a glove bag.
I love that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was flipped. He'd be about 15, 16. And it's weird because...
Is that not any footage of that? That'd be brilliant.
I don't know. I mean, there's footage of me with my glove bag, not in me goal, but in the 6-yard box and in front of me. But that was late on. But it never went back in my net. I think I almost played probably with it in my hand, I don't know. There's too many pairs, and there were new as well, there weren't old gloves.
Wow. That's a unbelievable story. That ain't never happened again, is it?
No, I'll tell you a little story. When we played in the FA Cup against Man United in the first half, we played. So as you come out of the changing room, we defended the left side. I can't remember the name of the stand, Osbaston, and it was one to the left, where all the Man U fans were. And I almost had so many coins thrown at me. Really? I mean, I think I picked up about £4 something. And I picked it all up, but the whistle had gone. I ran to the tunnel, and next door to the right hand side of the tunnel was a man, and his young son. And I went, "Yo, mate, courtesy of the Man U fans." Dropped it in his hand, and only a year ago, my mate Charlie Graham knows who that bloke was.
Really?
Couldn't believe it. Couldn't
Wow,
believe it.
He ain't going to forget that.
No, he brought it up to Charlie. Went, "I'll ask him about that." I said, "Yeah, I did, yeah."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's
great story, that.
Yeah,
I think it was great.
Yeah. That's
Well, not it, but it was all over. I thought,
really?
Yeah, it was good, you know.
What's the, I said the next 2 questions are, what's the best stadium or place you've played at for, I don't know, your best experience, and what is the worst stadium/crowd? So go for best first.
The best when I was England youth, we played at the Olympic Stadium in Rome.
Oh, wow.
In Italy. I didn't play, I was on the bench, but I trained, did the warm-up. That was, I mean, Wembley was another one, but Old Trafford. You know, I started my career in the First Division, it took me 16 years to get back. And then when the draw came out, when we were playing Man United away first match, and to walk out there with Peter Schmeichel was the atmosphere, 70,000 people. It was incredible.
Yeah, that's one thing you can't be taken away from. That's the Schmeichel thing.
But I think one of the, it weren't a bad ground, but Fulham and Palace were. No, they were just.
About Wimbledon's?
Oh yeah, Wimbledon was poor.
Wow,
Oh, I remember a story with that. I got a great reception down there. So when we played at Notts County, Craig Short and Justin Fashanu went to head the ball and they both clashed.
Yes, yeah.
Fell to the floor.
I remember that.
And normally I go to you get your own player, but he wasn't. There's something wrong. He was choking. So I turned him on the side and I shoved my glove down his throat and held his tongue down.
Really?
Yeah, and he thanked me for it. It was only about 3 minutes to go. And the trainers came on and blah blah. Wait, when we played away, I got such a reception. Yeah, and I'm not sure if Justin Fashanu flew to goal. He crossed the ball, and it flew right to my top corner. It's one of those that slices. I meant that. Whatever. Yeah. So, and my best experience had to be with David Seaman. So we gone to play at Highbury, and we had a hotel in London. Drove down our team coach, went to this hotel. And the gaffer said, "Right, let's go for a half-mile walk, get some fresh air in your lungs." We come back, the coach picked us up. It's a thing about glove bags today. So we're driving to the ground, and I said, "Where's my glove bag?" And they've left it. They didn't know I've got it in my hands when I come on the handball. It's at the hotel. So I've got no gloves. I've got no pair of gloves. There's none in the skip. There's my glove bag on the coach. So I said to Dave Seaman, England #1, "Could you buy me a pair of gloves?" And I thought he'd give me a crap pair. He didn't. He gave me a brand new spanking pair of Adidas gloves, white palm, pink and yellow on the back, pink and yellow with the black dots on. I gave him my lad actually, and
did he have his name on them?
I don't think so at the time.
That would have been quite
no. Anyway, first half I played out my skin, I think we'll lose it. We got beat 2-0, but when he walked off the pitch with me, because the tunnel was in the corner at Highbury, he walked off with me and he went to me. So I knew Davey when I was at Derby. And he was at Birmingham.
Yes, he was. Yes,
similar age.
Yeah,
They went probably 1 or 2. Yeah, and he said to me, his words were, "I don't suppose I'm getting them gloves back, am I?" I said, "Dave, no matter how I played first half, so you weren't getting them back anyway." So when I ran that second half, I got to the halfway line, just over, and all their main end is clapping me like 6,000 of them. And
North Bank, was it not?
I don't know, I can't remember which end it was. It was the far end, but you know, and I didn't know where to clap back, and they all go, "Oh, you're." I thought, "Oh, I'll clap it right." Now, if I've got, in them days you ain't got mobile phones with your camera, I'd have done that. And I clapped them, they kept clapping me. It was like, it ears stand back in my neck, because of my first half performance.
Yeah.
They clapped me for about 3 or 4 minutes. It was awesome.
Was that another thing? Because I remember, let's go to Forest when you were playing, and it was a thing with goalkeepers, I think.
Well, at my level, my level used to be, you clap them back, they go, "Oh, you're shit." You know,
really?
Yeah. I've never had that. Never. I
It
thought
used
it was
to be a thing at
fantastic.
Forest,
Yeah.
They used to clap the goalkeeper for some reason. I don't know why. But that's great, that is.
Yeah,
isn't
it was awesome, mate. I've never had that before.
They're going to say
Yeah.
you've got it in your head, don't you? You don't need a. Well, it would be nice to get a picture, wouldn't it? Can you imagine that?
Yeah,
That.
I know,
behind
yeah.
me, amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, good to find one, wasn't it? And then the video of the glove bag. That'd be awesome, that. Great tackle. It's a great dive.
Was it a
actually.
rugby one or was it a goal?
Oh, it was a full length dive on him,
Was it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Down to the floor, yeah. Could have got done for it, really, but
You could have done, wouldn't you?
yeah, would do nowadays, wouldn't you? Be
Yeah,
banned.
definitely, yeah. You wouldn't be playing again, probably.
No.
So did you ever play at Kenilworth Road?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Was that a dive as well? I heard that wasn't.
He was, yeah.
On the
I
plastic
think
pitch?
when I played it, there's the old AstroTurf,
Yeah,
the firm stuff.
with the sand in it.
Yeah, and we played there, and one of the guys spat at me in my face. I won't mention his name. Someone did it twice to me, yeah. One was at Luton and one was at Newcastle. But the one at Luton got reported. Because it was raining, he didn't think no one would see it. He was a famous lad. He denied it, but I couldn't prove it. Because it was throwing it down, he couldn't, but he gobbed in my face. You know them days where you could waste a bit of time with the ball?
Yeah.
I tell you, it was the worst for him, Mick Quinn of Newcastle. So you got the ball played back to you, headed back to you, you chest it, keep it there. As he comes to you, I used to pretend to pick it up, or I'd pick it up, he'd turn around, and he'd run back, and I'd drop the ball down again. I'd do that 4 or 5 times. Well, Mick Quinn wasn't the fittest lad in the world.
Big lad, wasn't
he? Yeah, I was with him at Derby, and as he came, I booted the ball, and he did it as well. Yeah.
Oh dear.
And then the worst one I've ever had is what's his name? His name over the plane.
It's still going, mate. No, it's still going. Still low power.
I got elbowed in the face at. He played for Albion. I was playing for Plymouth. I won't mention his name because he works on the TV.
I'm trying to work it out a bit.
He played, yeah. Well, anyway, he denied it. He elbowed me. He caught me about there. A good one. Went down. He got sent. Lab was seen. He got sent off. But that created a stink at half time because they all thought I was shamming it. I wasn't shamming it. And Colin Allison was the assistant manager under Ron Atkinson.
Yeah.
So it all kicked off at the tunnel. And the second half was a bit nasty because of that. And then I went into the bar end of the game. I was only there 10 minutes. And I didn't know this till about 2 weeks later. Colin Allison had him on the team coach. He said to him, I know Steve Cho from Derby for years. He doesn't lie. He's not that kind of person. Did you elbow him? His name was Don.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I did. And Colin came down to the Far Post Club, as it was then, and apologised to me about what I'd gone. So that was a corker, mate. If he'd caught me here, he'd have broke my jaw.
Wow.
He backed into me, and I just pushed him out my way, and he come back, bang. Well, that was awful, mate. Yeah.
You've been knocked out?
Yes, by my young player at Walsall.
Right, part 3. Sorry about that, folks. Right, so we're going to skip forward. Well, skip to one of the questions that you want to talk about, Steve. The Plymouth goal. Again, Plymouth.
Yeah.
The ball, was it a corner?
Well, we're
going
to go back to the away game.
Right.
So we've travelled down to Plymouth, and on the Friday, this is the only goalkeeping, not session. This is the only goalkeeping coach that Pete Taylor's ever said something to me. Not time I've known him. So we've finished training, and he pulls me aside with McFarland, John Sheridan, and Frank Runston, and they've given me a session where to stand at corners. No, I've never told anybody this.
Okay.
Since 1985, I've never told anybody this. So, and I'm not making excuses. It was my fault. My fault because I was daft enough to listen. So,
Did you know yourself then that we're wrong?
Well, he's my manager. Yeah. If he wants me to start with there, I'll start there. And so the first game, we drew 0-0, and I had one of the best games of my life. The quality of saves that I produced that day were the best in my career. And even a couple of catches and a couple of good punches were great. So my whole game was 10 out of 10. I'll set myself. So the replays on the Monday or Tuesday on Sports Night, the return leg, and so what happens is we were under pressure from the start, and to be fair, after 90 minutes, we didn't deserve to win this match. We were that poor, and I think I had 13 good saves. It was that embarrassing. Could have won it at the last minute when Peter Taylor took Bobby Davidson off and put the legendary Dave Watson centre half up front.
Did he? Oh, okay.
And he had a volley from 5 yards, and he tapped it to Crutch's arms. That would have sealed it.
Yeah.
He 1-0 up, hero, and I went to Villain. So.
As you're doing a goal.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So anyway, John Barton, I shouted to Johnny, "You've got time," and he literally shanked it, sliced it through a corner. It's literally 3 yards from the corner of my box, and he sliced it. So they've got a corner against, and his starting point is the back post. And stay on your back post.
But Giselle is on the near post, comes away, and Cherry in trouble, and it's straight in! Straight in. Rogers the scorer. And we'll see the fullback coming away from the near post as the corner is taken. There he goes, Giselle. And the ball has a lot of curl on it, and the goalkeeper, it went right over his outreaching right arm.
So here's me dancing like a prize poodle at the back post. The ball, I don't know whether he meant to play that ball, and he whipped it in crossbar height.
Yeah.
And because I was deep, Tommy Tynan from the penalty spot was coming in quick, and I thought he was going to get ahead of me and nod it in before I got there.
Yeah.
If I had stood in the middle of the goal, I could have gone punch. But no, I had to race forward to try and touch it over the bar, and I missed it. I took my eye off because all I'm watching is ball, Tommy Tynan, and he hit the back post about there, right? So I'll ask you a question. Where do you think my fullback was?